Hello there. Today we are going to do a very exciting build. So this one is sort of getting in preparation for The Sims 4 Seasons, and with that, I'm super excited because this one features a glass roof. Maybe not features, but it has a glass roof in it, and I am just so excited. I've wanted this for such a long time. I will say, in addition to glass roofs, I only wish it would be the perfect update if we had alongside with glass roofs, if I don't know how to say it, but the part under the glass roof, like the walls under the glass roof, would also fill in with glass windows as well. That would be awesome. Unfortunately, I don't know how that's gonna work, so we are just gonna skip past that. But today we're gonna do sort of like a farmhouse style home. I'm not sure if farmhouse is the right word, but I think that it's kind of like lower profile houses, like maybe 1 or 2 stories with a like kind of almost wraparound porch. It doesn't have to have a wraparound porch, but I feel like a lot of farmhouses have porches on them, and that is kind of what I imagine this to be a little bit like. And with that said, I do use a lot of like the cats and dogs sort of railings and fences to make it a little bit more farmy. If you kind of get this style of the Cats and Dogs expansion pack, it has a very farmish kind of country style, and that's very similar to what this is. And in addition to having a glass roof, there's just a lot of roofs in general. As you can see, I'm like layering a bunch of roofs on top of each other. Yeah, let's see, I think I've maybe 5 roofs in total, and it's not a big house, so it's pretty small. The details of the house is that there are 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and then just normal living stuff. You have like a kitchen and a living room, and that's really it. And yeah, so I was really feeling in the mood to build because I haven't actually built in a really long time. So all my previous builds I think were like pre-recorded, and this one I actually recorded really recently. I think I did it on Monday, so that was like two days ago or something like that. And I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to build, but I just started building, and I am super surprised by the way this house turned out. I really like it. I think it's super cute. I do like modern architecture a lot, and this is a little bit of a breakaway from modern architecture. It's definitely more traditional, more, I would say, like American style house. And yeah, so I also built it in Brindleton Bay, which is the Cats and Dogs world, so it has a lot of that old country feeling, and I thought this was a perfect lot for it. Yeah, usually I feel like I build houses and they're either too small for the lot or they're too big for the lot. Or my idea is too big for the lot. But this one actually worked out super well. I think it's a perfect size. I think it fits really well into the sort of neighborhood, and yeah. So as you can see on the 2nd floor, there are, I think they're called dormers. I've said them before in videos, but I guess they're called dormers, and there's no 2nd story. They also don't look into the home either. I guess they're kind of like fake dormers. And yeah, so. Oh, also, by the way, so with the glass roofs, I do have to mention that in this build, when I'm doing the kind of speed build part, I don't actually put the glass roof in. I put the glass roof, but you will see the glass roof in the screenshots. The reason for that is when I was actually doing the build, it was Monday in the United States, and we didn't have glass roofs then. And then Tuesday, The Sims 4 actually releases their update, and that's when they put in the glass roofs. So I couldn't really go back into the build. I mean, I guess I could, but it would really only be like a second long. And yeah, so I did put a glass roof in at the final end. And I knew glass roofs was coming, so I decided to make that little sunroom perfect for a glass roof. And this is, I mean, the Sims 4 season doesn't really have at least I don't think it has a very strong sort of theme or characteristic about it. Like Brindleton Bay, of course you can, The Sims 4 Cats and Dogs, it has a very country style, but with this pack that's coming out, The Sims 4 Season, there's not a huge like strong theme or anything, so I kind of made a very generic home, and I tried to make it as suitable for, I guess, Sims 4 Seasons. There's a lot of planter things around, so I know that The Sims 4 Seasons is doing a lot with like gardening, and I thought that, you know, if this would be a good home. And yeah, so there's a lot of backyard space as well, so you can have a lot of room for activities, like when it's winter or something, you can make snow angels, have snowball fights, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, so I'm just putting a little bit more of some planters around, just, you know, in case you really want to get that gardening skill. And this is a kind of a family-friendly home. Unfortunately, only, I think, up to 3 Sims can live in this house, because there's a double bed, which is the master, and then there's 1 single bed. So it looks kind of large, but it's actually a small home. Yeah, it's not that huge, but you know, it's good for maybe a nice like starter home, which is kind of cute. And then it's a very family-friendly home as well. I mean, there's a lot of like outdoor space. There is like a barbecue section, and I think it's a good home if you just kind of want to start out. And yeah, I did do I always forget the name of it, but I did put like the little fencing on top of the porch area, so you can get a little bit of shade, but there is sort of outdoor section later on. And yeah, so the inside was a little bit hard to do, because the house looks big from the outside, but it's actually pretty small. And the way I have it right now, it only has like 1 bedroom, and it has a really oddly shaped bedroom. That bedroom on the like side of the house, that's like a single bedroom, and like the floor plan is like the weirdest bedroom floor plan. So I later at the very end, or maybe the middle, I change it to 2 bedrooms, but the master bedroom becomes a little bit smaller. And that bedroom, or not that bedroom, but that room with the tiles, that is going to be the bathroom. And yeah, and it also has a really interesting sort of kitchen. So there's no difference between the kitchen and the eating table, like the breakfast nook. So it's kind of like an L-shaped kitchen, and then there's like a table right in the middle, because the space was a little bit odd to work with. And for the sunroom, I actually wanted that to be like a greenhouse, which I feel like a lot of people are going to do now with the glass roofs. But the house was so small, I ended up turning that room into a family room. And yeah, so I really like this home too, because it kind of feels a little bit renovated. Like, it feels like it got a facelift, that they added like the sunroom on, and then they changed the layout a little bit. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. They just added a sunroom, and they decided to push the family room into that side. And I don't know if I've done it right now, but there's a door going to the porch. There's actually 2 doors going to the porch. There's one from the living room, and then there's one from the like main part of the house. And I thought that the door to the main house, that is like the existing architecture. That was what was originally there, but later on I decided to remove the door and then cover up, and then convert it to a 2-bedroom. So it's almost kind of going through the process of renovating an actual house. So maybe this is like the original sort of floor plan of the house, and then when the family moved in, they decided to sort of strip down the house and then reupholster everything. So they added a sunroom, they changed up the layout, added a 2nd bedroom, that kind of stuff. And yeah, so the final floor plan is still a little bit weird, but I guess you'll have to see the whole floor plan turn out. And yeah, so we're still working on the master bedroom, and you can see that the master bedroom is actually pretty large. I was able to fit a desk in it, but when I decided to change the floor plan, I removed the desk and I just kind of moved it outside to the main living area. Yeah, so this is the bathroom. I love this. I wouldn't say I love, but I think that a good size for a bathroom is a 2x3. I think it's good. I think it works. You're maybe not able to get a tub in. Actually, technically, well, in a certain floor plan, you can get a tub in if the back wall doesn't have a window on it. You can use that shower tub combo thing. But if you can see, I'm struggling a little bit with how to do the floor plan because they shower. Basically, all their showers have a solid wall where the shower head sticks out from, and based upon this layout, I just couldn't get it quite right. So I decided to just add in a half wall, so it looked like it was attached to a wall. And yeah, so it just has a shower when you walk in, and then a little sink and a toilet. And I actually really like the way that this toilet came out. It's not too modern. It's kind of homey feeling. And yeah, it's got a lot of browns and grays. And it also has these wall plants, which I love. I do really like those plants a lot. And yeah, so this is the living room, and it's actually kind of a small living room. Maybe I should have made it a little bit bigger or something, but it didn't go with the flow of the house. So yeah, but I managed to get kind of a small little living room in, and I think it works. I think it's I like it. I think that the way this furnishing, or the way that I furnished this home is very different from the way I've furnished a lot of homes. Well, because I do always stick with my comfort zone, which is modern, but this one has a little bit more of a casual, everyday sort of style. It kind of just seems like a neutral sort of style. And yeah, so that's basically it. I was only able to get a love seat and then a little side chair thing. And yeah, so I put this kind of old style luggage council table thing, something like that, and then I just put a television over it, and I think it works. It's nice. I didn't want to get the wall attached TV because that wouldn't really make sense to put it on a window, so there's that. And to go along with the old style council table, or the TV stand, I did use the nightstand that is the old luggages, and I love that. I think it's so cool. And yeah, I think that could have been the first time I've ever used that item. Could be, but I'm not sure. And yeah, I actually had a lot of space on the other side of the room where the door is, so I decided to put a little plant cart, and I've never used that, but this was the perfect home to do that. And I really loved the idea of putting tons of plants around, just because the Sims 4 update and the Sims 4 Seasons has a lot of gardening sort of interactions, and I really wanted to include that, so it kind of has a little bit of that feel. And yeah. And this is the kitchen. So this one was a little bit weird. So as you can see, if I put a kitchen and then a separate dining area, the space really wouldn't work out. So I decided to just instead do a L-shaped kitchen, and then I just put the breakfast table sort of in the middle. So you kind of have to eat in the kitchen. There's no separate formal dining room or anything, but I think that's fine. Maybe in real life people wouldn't like that, but for playability reasons, I think that's great. I don't think you need too many different tables or anything, so this is all quite nice. The only thing that I don't like about the kitchen though is that it's a little bit lopsided, as you can see. So the back wall is 4 tiles wide, and I had to put the stove on one of the tiles. So I would have liked to make the stove in the middle, especially so it have a solid backing, like a backsplash. But with 4 tiles, I had to choose one of the tiles to be the stove, so I ended up doing one of them. And then the back of the stove there's like a window there, so that's not like the best, but for Sims it really doesn't matter. And yeah, so here I just put some shelves, and I managed to just get a tiny little microwave underneath, which is really cute. I like it. I think it fits really well just to have like a shelf right above it. Just because because microwaves are like really weird. You can't, like, everywhere a microwave goes, it's just like placed on a counter. Like in the real world, people have it like in cabinets, in cupboards, like they built in the microwave, but with The Sims 4, you just kind of plonk it on the counter, and I thought that once I added the shelf, it kind of looked like it was supposed to be there, which I really liked. And yeah, so this is where I'm adding the breakfast table, and yeah, it just has a 4-seater. Of course, only the house only fits 3 people. You can possibly squeeze in another person, but I honestly don't know how you can do that. You can maybe switch the single bed into a double bed, but if you want to know, the room is literally 3 by 3, so once you put a double bed in that room, that's basically all that can fit in there. And yeah, so the house is pretty small. I was able to get 2 bedrooms in, but the single bedroom is definitely on the small side, and it only has a single window as well, so it kind of feels a little bit cramped in the room. But to be honest, the way I furnished it, I really like it. It has a very environmentally friendly, very kind of cozy vibe, and yeah, it's kind of cute. So this is when I am updating the floor plan. So this, I guess, is like the original floor plan, and now I'm updating it. So as you can see, I removed the door to the backyard, but there's still another door from the sunroom, and that is kind of like the addition. So it's kind of cool because it is like a working process of how you go through renovating a home. So you like add on a room, you break down some old existing features of the home, and then add some new existing features. And yes, this is the bedroom. It's really small. It's only like 3 by 3, but I think it works. I think it still looks pretty large if you look at it in a certain angle. And yeah, so here I'm just trying to pick some windows, because windows are a bit of a pain. I couldn't figure out how to do it, but I managed to figure out a way that it would like match and it would be even, and that's nice. So I did rearrange the master bedroom a little bit, and I actually like this way, the way the master bedroom is laid out in the final form, which is this way. And there is like a half tile in between the wall and the bed, and I think your sim can still walk through it. I don't think I tested it, but I'm about like 80% sure it's usable. And yeah, so the master bedroom, it's still pretty large, but it's a much better layout. Like if you just look at the way the room is like drawn, or like the floor plan of the room, it's so much better than what it used to be. And yeah, so I'm just adding a little bit of some stuff to this bedroom. It's definitely taking on a very teen-friendly sort of orientation. So there's a lot of like bright colors, there's a lot of plants around, which I do have. And yeah, so I was trying to get like a checkerboard kind of style with the mirrors and the plants, but it just didn't end up turning out that way because I couldn't size down the mirrors. So instead what I did was I put the plants like on top of the mirrors. So I thought it would be kind of like a cool feature item, and yeah, almost like a shadow box with plants in it instead. And yeah, so I'm just putting a lot of, I'm not sure about this style, but it's taking a very like plant-friendly bohemian kind of style, very colorful, and yeah, I actually really like the way this turned out. If it wasn't so small, I would probably live in here, especially because it only has one window. I would have liked to get another window in, but it just didn't look good from the outside. And yeah, so it's actually, I mean, it's a small bedroom, but it's actually, I think, it looks kind of large. I mean, it has, you have like you don't really have a wardrobe, but you do have those little cubby holes, which, you know, I think is fine. It does function as a wardrobe too, so there's that. And I don't know, I'm just finishing off with this rug, and I think it works really well. I actually really do like the blue, but I do change it, I think, to that dark brown, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so, I don't know, I mean, I like the two different rooms. Like the master bedroom's a little bit more formal. It has like a green sort of theme going on, and it's just a lot more formal. And then the teens bedroom is a little bit more fun, playing with a lot of more colors. And yeah, so at this point the layout is still a little bit odd, especially because when you open the door and the front doors are pretty large. They're maybe a little bit too oversized for this size of home, but I ended up splitting up the floor plan a little bit more. It's interesting too, because sometimes, you know, you always want like an open concept home, but it's interesting that when you add rooms in, it just actually makes the home feel a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, I don't know when I'll do it, but I do add in a like 2x1 room, and that functions as a closet. So technically, you don't really need any of the other wardrobes or dressers, because I do have a closet. And this is kind of like the front entrance closet where, you know, your guests would come and you would ask them to put their jackets or something in the closet. And yeah, I do like it too, because it makes the bedrooms and the bathroom turn into kind of like a hallway. And yeah, so we are getting into screenshots. I actually didn't show the outdoors because this video is actually getting too long, but just now you can see the glass roof, which is super cool. I added that at the last minute. Here are some of the indoor screenshots. And I did rearrange the sort of front section a little bit. I have a desk, and then I have like a little reading nook. Here's the living room. You can see a little bit of the glass roofs, which is super cute. I did choose the more ornate one, as opposed to the more simpler ones. Here is the teens bedroom, the sort of formal master bedroom, which has a strong like green theme going on. And yeah, just finishing off, I guess. No, I think I do some outdoor screenshots as well, but there is a bathroom. This is like the porch area with the greenery above it. And then this is just kind of looking out to the outdoors. And yeah, so just a couple of shots at nighttime. I did actually make sure to add in some outdoor lighting, just so it didn't look so dull at night. And I really like the way it turned out. You can see this glass roofs. I think it's super cool. But here are the floor plans. And I just decided to do the roof as well in case you wanted to see that. And yeah, I think that I only have a couple of last screenshots. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!